Welcome to the official podcast series by POTENZA, where innovation meets insight. In this series, we dive deep into the world of SAP, explore the power of robotic process automation, and unlock the true potential of data analytics. Whether you're a tech enthusiast, a business leader, or just curious about the digital transformation shaping our world, you're in the right place. Tune in, stay curious, and let's explore the future of enterprise technology together. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube for more powerful insights. Now, let's get into today's episode.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Look, if your business deals with documents, and let's be honest, whose doesn't? You know the struggle. You've got these mountains of paper, maybe scans, maybe PDFs, invoices, contracts, forms. How do you actually turn all that into usable, smart data? It's not just about scanning anymore, right? It's about getting that information digested digitally, like instantly.
Exactly.
So today, we're really getting into how machines read and how that's changing. We'll look at the foundations, OCR, ICR, and OMR. Optical Character Recognition, Intelligent Character Recognition, and Optical Mark Recognition.
The building blocks.
Right, but then we'll show why the game is shifting away from just recognizing things to actually understanding them. That's Intelligent Document Understanding, or IDU. Our mission today is really to show you why this IDU layer, this kind of cognitive ability, is becoming essential for automating complex business stuff.
Yeah, document recognition, that whole umbrella term, it's the starting line. It's how you get from a piece of paper, or, a messy PDF to structural data a computer can actually work with.
And we're not just talking about making a PDF searchable, are we?
No, not at all. We're talking about pulling out specific numbers, like invoice totals, knowing who the vendor is, and getting that data clean and ready to go straight into, say, your accounting system or your CRM.
That really clarifies it. It's not just about digital filing cabinets. It's doing three key things for a modern business. Grabbing the data that's extraction, getting everything digital digitization, and the big one, enabling automation.
That's the payoff.
Yeah, feeding that clean data right into your ERP, your CRM, maybe your RPA bots.
And when you think about that pipeline, you realize, well, the stuff coming in isn't all the same, is it? You've got printed text, you've got messy handwriting, you've got checkboxes.
Totally different challenges.
Exactly. And that's why we ended up with these three core technologies initially: OCR, ICR, OMR. They were each designed to tackle a different kind of document chaos.
Okay, let's break those down then. Starting with the one I think most people have heard of, OCR. Optical Character Recognition.
The workhorse, definitely.
It's really good at taking clean printed text from a scan, an image, a PDF, and turning it into digital text you can actually edit and search. Absolutely fundamental for getting rid of paper. How does it actually work, though, under the hood?
Well, traditionally, it's worked in a couple of main ways, and modern systems often blend them. You've got pattern recognition.
Okay, like matching shapes.
Sort of, yeah. It's basically comparing the image of a character against a huge library of known fonts and shapes. Is this blob an A? Is that one a B?
On the other way.
Feature recognition, that's a bit smarter. It looks for the geometric bits, the lines, the curves, the loops, the intersections that make up a character. What distinguishes an H from an N.
Got it. And where do we see OCR used most?
Oh, all over. Processing typed invoices, digitizing old books or records, any kind of automated data entry where the source is consistently printed, it's efficient for that.
But, there's always a but, right?
Yeah.
Where does traditional OCR stumble?
Right, and this is critical. The sources really hammer this home. Because it relies on those clean patterns or features, it hits a wall pretty fast with variation.
So like bad copies?
Yeah. Accuracy drops if the scan is blurry or the paper's creased or the lighting was weird. But the biggest limitation, the one that really matters strategically, it's completely context blind, meaning it can be really accurate, like 95, even 99% accurate at identifying characters on a clean printed page. It sees INVOICETOTAL 550 alert 0.
Okay.
But it has zero idea that $1,250 is the invoice total. It's just a string of characters. It doesn't understand the meaning or the relationship between words.
Okay. Extraction without any real comprehension.
Yeah.
So if it struggles with a slightly fuzzy font, what happens when people start writing by hand? That's a whole different level of messy.
Exactly. And that leads us straight to ICR, Intelligent Character Recognition.
So the intelligent part is key here.
It absolutely is. ICR was developed specifically to tackle OCR's big weakness: handwriting. It's the evolutionary step up.
How does it manage that? Handwriting is so variable.
Machine learning, that's the core difference. OCR mostly relies on those fixed templates or feature definitions. ICR uses ML algorithms that can actually learn
Learn from what?
from examples and, crucially, from corrections. It's adaptive. It doesn't just look for one perfect T. It learns all the weird ways people write T, and if someone verifies the data and corrects a misread character, say, it thought a 4 was a 9, the system learns from that mistake and refines its understanding.
So it gets better over time.
Constantly. That's how it can handle cursive, block printing, print, and cursive mixed together. All the variations you see in things like handwritten forms.
Okay, that sounds powerful. Where would you typically need ICR?
Think about processing application forms, loans, insurance, college admissions, or healthcare intake forms, patient notes. Banking is huge too, reading the amounts on checks, verifying signatures, anywhere humans are filling things out by hand.
Makes sense. Is there a downside? Why not just use ICR for everything?
Resources, mainly. ICR needs more computing power, and importantly, it needs training data to get good. For purely printed, straightforward documents, traditional OCR is still often faster and, frankly, cheaper to run. It's more resource-intensive.
So it's a trade-off. Use the right tool for the job.
Precisely. If there's handwriting involved, you pretty much have to step up to ICR.
Okay, that covers printed and handwritten text. What about the third one? OMR. Optical Mark Recognition. You said that one's different.
Yeah, OMR is kind of the odd one out. It doesn't actually read characters at all. I'm not interested in A's or B's or 5s.
Stewards do.
It just looks for marks in predefined places. Think
Yeah.
checkboxes, bubbles on a test sheet, shaded areas. It works by measuring darkness or light reflection within specific zones on a template.
Ah, like standardized tests. The SATs, multiple choice exams.
Exactly that. Or surveys where you fill in bubbles, attendance sheets with checkboxes, voting ballots. Anywhere you have a highly structured form designed for simple yes-no or multiple choice style input.
So it's super specialized.
Extremely. And for that specific job, it's incredibly fast and accurate. Like 98, 99% plus accuracy isn't uncommon because the task is simple. Is this box filled in or not?
But totally useless for reading, say, the comments section on that survey form.
Completely useless. It only captures that binary or categorical data based on marks on a very strict template.
Okay, so pulling it together. OCR for clean printed text relies on patterns features. ICR for handwriting uses machine learning to adapt. And OMR for just detecting marks on rigid templates.
That's the breakdown. And the accuracy reflects that. OCR maybe 95, 99% on print. ICR maybe starts lower, 80, 95%, but learns and improves. OMR super high, 98, 99% plus, but only for its narrow task.
So for businesses, the choice depends on the documents they handle most.
Well, yes and no. It often starts there. Got printed invoices, OCR is your base. Processing handwritten applications, you need ICR. Got surveys, OMR might be part of it. But the reality, especially with complex documents, is that you often need all three. Think about an insurance claim form. It might have printed policy details, handwritten descriptions of the incident, and checkboxes for the type of claim.
Ah, so you need a system that can handle all of that on one page.
Exactly. Modern platforms don't just offer one, they integrate them. They can look at a document, figure out which part needs OCR, which needs ICR, which needs OMR, and route the content accordingly. Siloed tech just doesn't cut it anymore.
That integration makes sense. But here's my question. Even if you perfectly combine all three and you get, 99% accurate extraction of every character and mark, isn't it still just dumb data? Like you said before, context blind.
That is precisely the limitation that pushed the industry forward. You're absolutely right. Even with perfect extraction, if the system doesn't understand what it extracted, you still need a huge amount of human effort.
How much effort are we talking?
Well, some studies I've seen suggest that even when using OCR, data entry clerks can spend something like 60% of their time just validating the extracted data, checking if the numbers add up, if the vendor name matches the PO, cross-referencing business rules.
60%. Just checking the computer's work.
Yeah, because the OCR just gave them the characters. It didn't tell them if they made sense together or what they meant for the business process. It solved the typing problem maybe, but not the thinking problem.
Wow. Okay, that 60% figure really hits home. It shows exactly why just recognizing text isn't enough. And that brings us neatly to the next stage, right? The evolution to intelligent document understanding, IDU.
Exactly. This is the paradigm shift, moving beyond just extraction to actual comprehension.
So OCR tells you what's written, IDU tells you what it means.
That's the core distinction, yes, and what you need to do about it.
Can you give us a concrete example? Let's nail this down.
Sure. Let's take a messy multi-page document. Traditional OCR might process it and spit out.
Okay.
PO number 4567. Shipping date 2/15/2024. Total amount $8,000. Okay. Accurate text.
Right.
Now, an IDU system looks at that same extracted text, maybe combined with visual analysis of the document layout, and it understands, okay, this document is a purchase order. That's document classification. That $8,000 amount, it's over the $5,000 limit we have for this particular supplier. That's a validation rule check. And hang on, that shipping date of Feb 15th, that's actually 45 days later than the required delivery date listed elsewhere, or maybe in our PO system. That's context awareness and cross-referencing.
So it connects the dots.
Exactly, and then it concludes. Therefore, because of the amount threshold and the late delivery, this PO needs to be automatically flagged and routed to the procurement manager for review and exception handling. See the difference? It's cognition applied to the recognition.
That's a huge leap from just reading characters to understanding relationships, applying rules, and initiating actions. What technologies make that possible?
It's really a convergence of a few key things, primarily under the AI umbrella.
Okay.
You've got AI, especially computer vision, that learns to understand the layout and structure. Where's the header? Where's the table? What fields are visually grouped together, even without explicit labels sometimes.
So it sees the document structure, not just the text.
Right. Then you have natural language processing, NLP. That's absolutely crucial for getting the meaning of the text, understanding semantics, context, intent, figuring out that net 30 refers to payment terms, for example.
And machine learning is in there too.
Oh, yeah. ML is the engine that drives the continuous improvement. The system learns from new document types, learns from user corrections and feedback, getting smarter and more accurate over time. It adapts.
So AI for structure, NLP for meaning, ML for learning. That combination delivers capabilities far beyond old Ochre, right?
Absolutely. Let's tick through some of the key advantages IDU brings. First, that context awareness we touched on.
Understanding net 30.
Yeah, but it's deeper than that. It's knowing that a date near the top might be the invoice date, while a date near the bottom might be the due date, just based on typical document structure and surrounding words, even if the labels are weird or missing.
Okay, so it figures things out from context. What else?
Relationship mapping. This is huge. IDU doesn't just extract quantity. 5, unit price, $10, line total, $50. It understands those fields are related.
And it checks the math.
Instantly, it calculates. Does 5 times $10 actually equal $50? If not, it flags it. Think about catching simple typos or errors before they pollute your financial systems. That's massive value.
Definitely. What about document variety? You mentioned invoices from different vendors look totally different. Old systems needed templates for everything, right? Nightmare.
Total nightmare. That's where structure recognition in IDU really shines. Because it uses AI to understand the concept of a table or a header or a key value pair, it doesn't need a rigid template for every single variation.
So it can handle invoices from vendor A and vendor B, even if they look completely unalike.
Largely, yes. It learns the common patterns and structures. It can identify the vendor name, invoice number, line items, totals, etc. on vastly different layouts without someone needing to manually draw boxes around those fields for every new format. It adapts.
That must save an incredible amount of setup and maintenance time.
It does. And that leads to the final piece, validation and verification, built right in. IDU doesn't just extract, say, a purchase order number.
It checks it.
It checks it. At the point of extraction, it can pin your ERP system. Does PO number 12345 actually exist? Is it still open? Does the total match? Or it might check a signature against a database of approved signers. It enforces business rules immediately.
Ensuring data quality from the get-go.
Precisely, before that potentially bad data ever gets downstream.
And that validation, that ability to apply rules, that sounds like the perfect handshake with automation tools like RPA, robotic process automation.
It's the essential front end. Think of IDU as the smart eyes and brain, and RPA as the tireless digital hands. IDU reads the document, understands it, validates the key information.
And then hands it off.
Exactly. It hands off clean, validated, structured data to the RPA bot. The bot then takes over the routine tasks, entering the data into the accounting system, matching the invoice to the PO and receipt, scheduling the payment, updating inventory, sending notifications, logging everything.
All without a human touching a keyboard for the standard process.
That's the goal. It transforms departments like accounts payable. They move from being data entry factories to managing exceptions and strategy.
Now, you mentioned ML helps IDU learn. Does that mean starting an IDU project is like starting a massive AI research project? Sounds daunting.
Ah, good question. And no, thankfully not anymore. This is what we call the Smart Document Understanding Advantage. Most leading IDU platforms don't make you start from scratch.
How so?
They come with pre-trained models for common document types, invoices, receipts, purchase orders, utility bills, tax forms like W-9s, documents businesses process by the millions.
So they already know roughly what an invoice looks like?
Exactly. They have a high degree of accuracy out of the box for those standard types. Your job then becomes fine-tuning that model for your specific needs, your vendors, your internal jargon, your specific rules, rather than building the core intelligence from the ground up.
That must drastically cut down implementation time.
Huge difference. We're talking potentially weeks for initial deployment and value, instead of many months or even years. It makes this advanced tech much more accessible.
That's a really important practical point. Okay, one last critical area. If IDU is handling all this sensitive data, financials, customer info, employee records, and auditing decisions based on it, what about governance and compliance? Seems risky if not managed.
It's not just risky, it's absolutely non-negotiable. You have to build governance, privacy controls, and compliance checks into the IDU system and the automation workflow from day one.
Not as an afterthought.
Definitely not. Think about GDPR, APA, SOX, all the industry and regional regulations. The IDU system needs to understand data sensitivity, handle data masking if needed, enforce access controls, and ensure every step, extraction, validation, routing, is fully auditable. Trying to bolt on compliance after the fact is way harder and much more expensive. It has to be part of the design.
Makes perfect sense. You need trust and control baked in.
Oh.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful. We've journeyed from the foundational tech, OCR, ICR, OMR, which were amazing feats in their own right, digitizing paper and doing basic extraction.
Getting the text off the page.
Right. But the real transformation, as you've made so clear, comes with IDU. That blend of AI, NLP, and ML adds the missing pieces. Context, understanding, validation, adaptability. It adds the cognition.
And that really mirrors a bigger trend we're seeing across industries, doesn't it? We're moving beyond simple rules-based automation, if this then do that, towards more intelligent, adaptive systems that can learn, handle ambiguity, and self-optimize.
From automation to intelligent automation.
Precisely. So the question for you listening isn't really if your business needs document recognition technology anymore. The answer is almost certainly yes. The real question is, how quickly can you move beyond just basic recognition to implement true context-aware understanding? Because that's where you'll unlock the next level of efficiency and scale for your most complex document-heavy processes.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the POTENZA podcast series, where we decode SAP, automate with RPA, and analyze with precision. We hope you found today's conversation insightful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the technologies transforming tomorrow's enterprise. Got questions or ideas for a future episode? Drop them in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time. Thank you.